And now your hosts, Kim Kane and Katie Daughtry.
I knew that was going to happen. My dog.
Oh no.
Great
start. So good.
Sorry about that.
Good evening, barbecue family. Welcome to another episode of Midwest Backyard Matters, proudly presented by Man Meat BBQ. Whether you are in the backyard, out on the driveway, out on the KCBS competition trail, always remember that backyard matters.
We're good. Sorry.
To start. Hey Kim, how's it going?
Technical difficulties over here. My dog decided to run into the table and knock everything over, so that's fun. And now they don't want to go inside. A typical Monday.
Yeah. Dogs, they're great. He had perfect timing too. Like right when it popped up.
Yep. He waited until we started.
So how was your weekend?
Not too bad. Pretty chill. We did not compete this weekend. We took a break this last weekend. Ryan did go out and hang out with Meat Rushmore at their contest this last weekend. So that was a good time for him. I got to work from home. So, super exciting there. What about you?
It was a good weekend. We were going to practice ribs and it did not happen. We still have the ribs in the fridge, but we're going to trim them tonight and practice tomorrow. So
that's kind of how our week's going too.
Yeah. So, there were a lot of contests this weekend. So if we want to get into that. So
absolutely.
Pig and Peaches Barbecue Festival in Georgia. First place, Slater House Barbecue. Second, Running Style Barbecue. Third, Tallulah Falls School Pit Vipers. Fourth, Beaching Good Barbecue. Fifth, IBOK Holy Smokers. Sixth, Etowah Smoke. Seventh, One Guy, One Grill. Eighth, Southern Tailgates. 9, Native Smokers. And 10th, True Grit Barbecue.
Heck yeah. And then in Frostburg, Maryland, we had Pig Out in the Park. In first place, we had Dog Bite Barbecue. In second, we had Poor Boys Barbecue. In third, we had Ham Squad. In fourth, we had Dog Patch Q. In fifth, we had Casker's Barbecue Supply. In sixth, we had Better Half Barbecue. In seventh, we had Learn's Meat Varnish. Learn's Meat Varnish. In eighth, we had Pinky Out Barbecue. In ninth, we had Zony Q. In 10th, we had Golden Blue Barbecue. And I'll go ahead and read the last two. In 11th, we had Sweet Rick's Barbecue. And in 12th, we had Baba Q Black Sheep.
On Smoke on the Midway in Fairbury, Illinois. First, Weeze's Groove and Barbecue. Second, Leela Q. Third, 309 Barbecue. Fourth, Ruby Creek Barbecue. Fifth, Loose Cannon. Sixth, Ishi Links Barbecue. Seventh, Schmack Q. Eighth, Rude's Barbecue. Ninth, Semper Stout Barbecue. And 10th, Rocket Q.
Awesome.
And if you want to do Boomer.
And then in Canton, Minnesota, we had Boomer Backyard Barbecue Cook-Off. And so the top 10 there, first place was Lucky Shoes Barbecue. Second place with Porkette About It. In third place, we had Furlong's Smoke and Seafood. In fourth, we had Pity Q Barbecue. In fifth, we had Smoky GQ. In sixth, we had Sensuous Barbecue. In seventh, we had Big 10 Bones. In eighth, we had The Fortunate Meats. In 9, we had Marty Party Barbecue. And in 10th, we had Sugar Shack Barbecue.
And then at Vine Street Barbecue Competition and Fest in Illinois, there were a lot of teams out in Illinois this weekend. First place, 41. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
First place, Stone Cold Grillers. Second, Southside Pitmen. Third, Super Lynn's Barbecue. Fourth, Tricky Pig Barbecue. 5th, Uncle Mike's Barbecue. And 6th, I'd Smoke That. 7th, Pickinator. 8th, Troublemakers Barbecue. 9th, Pork Ribs Fire Department Barbecue. And 10th, Dick Rubs Barbecue.
Heck yeah. And then for Team of the Year, in first, we have Furlong Smoke and Seafood. In second, we have Fluffy Butt Barbecue. In third, we have Ham Squad. In fourth, we have Weeze's Groovin' Barbecue. In fifth, we have Hess Hogs 4. In sixth, we have Leela Q. In seventh, we have Rib Life. In eighth, we have Veteran Pork Pullers. In ninth, we have Schmack Q. And in 10th, we have The Fat Is Where It's At. I like that.
And for backyard ribs, we've got The Fat Is Where It's At in first place. Weeze's Groovin' Barbecue moving up to second place. Leela Q in third. Fourth, Swinelicious Barbecue. Fifth, Wrecking Crew Barbecue. Moving up to sixth place, TFS Pit Vipers. Moving up to seventh, Hickory Hangover. Eighth, Miss Spillion Meatworks. Ninth, Dog Patch Q. And 10th, Furlong Smoke and Seafood Barbecue. So, very busy weekend for backyard competitions.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited for tonight's guests. If you want to go ahead and introduce who we've got.
Yeah, today we are interviewing Breana Via. I knew I was going to do it and I did. Breana Via from the one and only. Bree, do you want to say the name?
Go for it.
Black Magic Barbecue.
Hi guys, welcome.
So thanks for meeting up with us tonight. I know you had a busy day today with school starting back. You being on the show with us tonight. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into competition barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a special education teacher. I work with K through 5 special education students out of Greenwood and Lee Summit, Missouri. So that's my day job. Got started in competition barbecue when Brad and I first met. He was doing competition barbecue with a different team name with some of his buddies. And he, like a month after we started dating, said, "Hey, I'm going to this comp." It happened to be Excelsior a couple of years ago. And he said, "Do you want to come with me?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So went out, and I was like, I remember driving through the entrance of the airport out there, because that was the first year with 2020 of it being out there. And as we're driving through, like, I was in shock at all these massive rigs and equipment. And I'm like, do you know how much money is tied up in all this? This is crazy. And so we set up our tents, because we were cooking out of tents. Set up the tents and got everything going there. And then I asked Brad, I said, "Can I just go around? I want to talk to these people, hear their stories, like check out their smokers and different things like that." And he's like, "Sure." So he says it was like 3.5 hours later, I come back. I went into just about everybody's site there. They were very welcoming. They tolerated all my questions that I had, because I had a lot. Because I was completely new and green to everything. But that is where I fell in love with the sense of barbecue family and community, and how open and welcoming everyone can be. They didn't know me. They didn't have to take the time to do what they did and answer my questions and show me around, but they did. And it was fantastic. I met people from all over there, and they even invited me over to eat dinner at one of them. Like, I just met this guy and his wife. It was I think BNS barbecue from up north. Bobby and his wife were like, "Why don't you come sit down and eat dinner with us?" And he kept calling me Tex, because I'm from Texas. And Reagan with La Pasadita was over there. I didn't know who these people were. And then when I got back, and Brad's like, "Where have you been?" And I'm like, "Everywhere." So that was really exciting. And my task for that weekend was the Bloody Mary competition. So I did my first competition 2 years ago there in Excelsior, and we took second place. And I was hooked. I was like, between the barbecue family, the competition side of it, it was just awesome. And everybody cheers for everybody and is genuinely excited when their fellow teams are winning and doing well.
Yeah, that's one of the crazy things for me, getting into the backyard community is everyone's just so it's different, you're just as excited when your friends win as when you win.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't really happen anywhere else.
Not genuine anyway. I mean, it is genuine. Like everybody is really rooting and excited, and especially if they know that you've been working on an area or something, and then you've been trying to improve it, or you've been struggling, and then you make it over that hurdle. It's like, I get more excited about that sometimes in our own call. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys won the coveted Made for KC Barbecue Championship. Walk us through that weekend and what it means for you to be a female pitmaster winning that contest.
Oh, that weekend, lots of hype going up into that weekend. We did lots of practicing going up into that weekend, but Brad and I just had the philosophy that we were going to go out and do what we do every weekend. We were going to have fun, because that's ultimately what it's all about. And we do much better when we have fun and are, of course, we're serious about the barbecue side of it and doing what we need to do there, but just incorporating all aspects of the cook and having fun in that. We loved meeting all the people. There were people out there mingling and coming in and different things, and they had different activities going on. So that was so much fun. That's kind of our element, when the public can get involved a little bit there, and meeting new people. And then we felt like it was a smooth cook. Everything, if you guys know that are in it, when you're cooking, sometimes everything just seems to click and go right and feels good, and you're actually pretty happy with your products. But then you never know, because then that also can bite you sometimes too, and judges don't agree. But thankfully they agreed on this one. And I was actually, my mom, my whole family lives in Texas, and she was watching live. So she's texting me when I got the brisket call. And she said, "Oh my God." Well, she said some other stuff, but I won't say it on here. Got a call. And so I was responding back to her when they announced the winner, because I didn't think at all that was even a possibility. And so I'm texting her, and they say our name, and I'm sitting there. Brad jumps up out of his chair, and I'm like, "Wait, did they just call me?" So then I'm like, "Oh my God, this is really happening." So that was really cool. And then as far as being a female pitmaster, Brad and I spit. We all knew. Well, I'm glad y'all did. I'm not a numbers person. Like all the guys, like everybody can keep this stuff straight in their head with who won this many calls and this many calls, and I just roll with it, and I don't calculate like that. My brain.
That's kind of how I am. I'm like, I got like a handful of like teams I think it's gonna be, but I could never tell you which one.
No, me either. And but Brad and I do everything 50-50. This year, over the winter, he said, I was doing chicken our first year, last year. Over the winter, he said, "What do you think about taking over another meat category?" And I said, "I'd like that." And he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want brisket, because that's my favorite meat." And so I'd never cooked a brisket. I'd never trimmed a brisket, never did anything with one. I watched him do it at a lot of times, but that's totally different. So he helped me through the whole process of how to trim them, how to cook them, what to do. And we just worked on that through the winter, so I would get comfortable with that. And we do love our brisket. You saw some on it, just brisket. So that was huge, and being able to feel like I contribute to the team. I was building boxes before I was running boxes. I still build the boxes. I still run the boxes, but I also cook chicken and brisket. I feel like we pretty much split all the responsibilities right down the middle. He runs the pits. I do all the injections, the rubs, putting everything together to prep to go into the comp weekend as far as that goes. So, I mean, I think it's important that women just not be seen as box runners because you can do so much more. I know it's scary, and that's probably the biggest reason why a lot of women don't get into it. But you just gotta get out there and jump in and try. Chicken was the easiest one for me to do because, like Brad said, if you mess up, it's $1.20 that you messed up on. Throw that one away, move on. Brisket was about hyperventilated the first time I was having to separate the point and the flat, but he went to and got me a prime, so it wasn't quite as big of a deal. But I was still like, what if I make a wrong cut? What if I do this? And so he was great at just coaching me along and saying, you got this, you can do this. It's, this isn't the comp. So this is your learning. And so just doing it helps you get over that. So that would be my biggest thing. Or if you don't feel comfortable with the meat yet, maybe see if you can do injecting and seasoning. Start that route. And then maybe take over some of the trimming in the winter, maybe practice and do some of that aspect of it if you're wanting to get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some really good tips, especially for some women on some teams that maybe they are just a box runner right now, but they want to do more, or maybe some of their other teammates want them to, have a higher stake in the group and, participate a little bit more. So I think those are definitely good tips for, just anyone, men and women who want to get involved more in the contest aspect sort of things.
And reaching out, like anybody. I mean, I get tech or Facebook Messenger messages all the time asking for different help here or there or ideas on different things. Like everybody does that. So any of the barbecue family, just reach out to them and they'll be more than happy to help in any way that they can.
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned this earlier, but I definitely have to say that's one of the things that I love about barbecue and competing and just, getting to go with Ryan anytime he competes anywhere is just everybody, it's like what you said earlier. Yeah, you want to win, but you're happy to see your friends win too, especially when they had a good cook and they've been working really hard at something. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you maybe you'll get it next time, but you're still super excited to see your friends win and your friends' teams to do really well as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
So I know that we're all really excited about the restaurant in KCI. What all is going into that new restaurant that you know about, and what control do you guys have over the menu, the training, the decor, and those kind of things?
Thank you about the turn-in boxes. That's nice. Well, so we will not handle the day-to-day operations. Like we don't handle the hiring, the firing, like that running of the day-to-day business of, so we are in charge of putting together the menu and creating menu items and recipes that go with that. And then also training the staff on how to cook those recipes.
Okay.
So, they've put in 2 Old Hickory pits out at the airport. So we're going to have it. The restaurant is in Terminal B, so it's Southwest Terminal. It's an 8,000 square foot restaurant that's going to be sectioned into different parts. Like one might be like a bar feeling, one's like a grab and go. So if you're having to move quickly in between your flights, grab something quickly. One of them's like your sit down regular place. And then, but they're all incorporated, like the menu is the same for all of those different sections. It's
okay.
just trying to fit whatever your needs are for your layover at that point. But we'll go in and work with the staff. Like I said, they're also expecting us to do our own sauces and rubs. So we're in the process of developing our own sauces and rubs with Old World Spice. And so, not for sure exactly how many of each of those we'll have coming out, but basically the restaurant wants to have them so they can use them on the meats and
Yeah.
make it as consistent as they can with the staff cooking our product. And then we get to go in at any point in time and do quality control. So we can go in and order food and make sure that it's staying up to our standards throughout that whole time as well. So,
That's really awesome.
Open, do you know?
what's that?
When does it open?
It's supposed to be March. So yeah, it's supposed to be in March. We haven't heard any different yet. So not really sure.
We'll have to all get flights for somewhere in March so that we can go eat.
Right? Well, that's what
There's
I was
going to be a lot
asking.
of people going to the airport just for food.
Well, we were going to talk to them about maybe trying to see if we could get like a soft opening with our barbecue family all invited out there, because, who's the better critics than people that eat it all the time every day. But I don't know that we're going to be allowed to do that. But we'll see. We're going to ask.
Right. It's a cool idea.
So it'd be fun. But I'm all about a barbecue family beach vacation. That's my kind of vacation. I told Brad, I said, too bad we live so far from the beach. Like, we'd go cook some comps.
Right. So after Made for KC, you guys have gone on a hot streak. You've got Reserve Grand in Miami and Grand Championship in Warsaw. How have you maintained your focus with, you're focusing on the restaurant, you've got kids and regular life and continuing to compete at this high level? How are you managing to handle all of that?
It's a lot for sure. I am extremely structured and organized with stuff. So my brain has to compartmentalize different things and organize different things in certain ways. It's helped tremendously that I'm a teacher, so I was off all summer. I use that term off lightly, but I didn't have a regular day job. How do I get all the days off of comps? Well, this will be the first year I'm probably going to I max out my days most of the years, but I've just had the conversation with my principal this year about there are going to be things that we're expected to do with this airport that's going to be time off. Like when they open, they're expecting us to be there for meet and greets and those kinds of things. We're taking off for the Royal, different things like that. So, that's going to be a little tricky. This will be the first year that I'm really working that out. Last year, I would take like maybe a half day on a Friday or something like that, trying to really manage my time. But for the most part, we didn't ramp up until the summer. So we really started hitting it hard in June. So June, July, and August, we've hit it pretty hard. But then like cooking this weekend, we want to, but I had Meet the Teacher night tonight till 6, and then I didn't get home till 6:30. My kids started school this week. So logistically, we could have done it, but we were going to have to take 2 cars, and then Brad's got to drive the RV. It was just going to be too much. So
yeah.
So just kind of balancing all that. Our kids are phenomenal. They're good about going. We've got the RV for them because we know if we were going to do it, that we'd have to have something family friendly.
Yeah.
So they have some place that is either cool or warm, depending on time of year. And they have the accessibility to electronics, and they love it when we go to like festivals and they can go out and go to the different activities that they have there. Or not. What you cooked for the CBJ class and how it ended up in Warsaw. Yeah, so we weren't supposed to go to Warsaw. We were supposed to, in Max. We were supposed to be, we did end up cooking for a CBJ class in Shawnee. But when they called Wednesday night at like 8, Aaron Stauffer with Man Meat was like, hey, we need another team. Can you cook? And Brad and I were sitting at dinner and we're like, technically we've got the meat and technically it's all thawed but the brisket because we just bought ribs and pork butt and I could order chicken. And so we started talking and we decided we were going to call Bunny and Rich were the organizers for the class, and we were going to call them because that was our first and foremost commitment. And if it wasn't going to work, then we were going to have to say no to the comp because we had already committed to them. And Bunny was like, "Oh my goodness, just cook it and vacuum seal it and bring it to us. Well, we eat it totally fine." So once we got the green light that everything was good there, then we went ahead and said, all right, we're in, and called the organizer and got it all set up for Warsaw. So that worked out really well for us. So Max is still outside. I'll try to get him on the screen at some point.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of love tonight.
If you haven't,
we didn't take him to Miami because it was downtown. It was supposed to be raining all weekend. So I had a friend of mine come over and watch him. And there were 2 or 3 different teams that brought people over to meet him and were so bummed he wasn't there. So Max, come here. Oh, you're gonna so that everybody's like, well, fine, we don't want to talk to you. We just wanted to come see Max. So come here, come see me. Can you come say hi? Come here, right here. Look up here. Say hi.
So cute, Maxie.
He's such a sweetheart. He didn't go with us this weekend to Excelsior either, since it was downtown and there wasn't a lot of green space. So, but once again, people were upset about Max not being there.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't met Max yet, that is their mascot. You need to meet Black Magic's mascot.
He's the best.
He is the best.
He is.
He is the size of Kevin Hesse calls him a horse, and he's about 150 pounds.
He's a big boy.
He is, but a sweetie. He's a sweetheart.
So why do you think that people both inside and outside the barbecue community should understand the importance of women in barbecue?
Well, I don't think it's just in barbecue. I think it should be important for all roles. Just he is a leaner your way. Like just breaking down the gender barriers that women can do anything that men can do for the most part, that they want to do. They can have the opportunity to do that. So yes, it may be a very male-dominated sport or activity or whatever you want to call it. I feel like it's a sport because I'm super sore and tired on Sundays after we get home. I was talking about that yesterday. He's like, God, I feel like I've worked out and done all this stuff. But just knowing that it's also something that you can do together. Like it can be something you do as a couple, something you do as a family. Like our kids do the kids' cues, and they love those. There's not as many of those as we'd like there to be, but just any way to incorporate that in general. But I think it's important that women realize that if they want to do it, they can do it. They just got to go out there and glean all the information that they can.
Absolutely.
Practice it and just do it. So if they need to reach out to anybody.
I agree. So what is next for Black Magic? What you got going on?
Like I said, we're taking this weekend off. Next weekend, I think we'll be without kids, which is extremely rare. We have kids almost every weekend. I've got my 3, Brad's got 1, and they're opposite weekends. So we always have kids with us. But the way it worked out for the Labor Day with the schedule is that we don't have any kids on Labor Day. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to Omaha. We're going to go so I think that's where we're headed. But we don't have to take time off of work to do it. We can ride together kind of thing. And it won't be so bad as far as getting the prep done during the week. So So yeah, that's our next step. We really don't know past that. We'll just have to see pool party. So Sundays are known as rehab pool days. So we come home and literally from noon on just lay in the pool and don't do anything the rest of the day. So
sounds like a great plan.
Any and all are welcome.
Heck yeah.
Live in the Kansas City area. Come on.
It's a good time.
You
won't be disappointed.
Yeah. And but like I tell everybody, I'm like, if you want to eat, you need to bring it because I'm not cooking.
I mean, why not?
We order pizza. As far as the steak contest in Omaha, I wasn't planning on doing the steak contest. I haven't dabbled in that area yet. Brad has talked about it, and I think he's wanting to play around with it. But yeah, right now we're not planning on doing that.
You can tell him to contact Zach. We'll give him our timeline and have at it.
That'd be great because like the kids all did steak down in Osceola for the kids' queue, and I was like, to Max said, "That's right, Max. If you leave the box propped open on a table that's at his height, yes, he will." And then you see him carrying half the pizza across the concrete. So
that, or he'll still pork chops right off the counter.
Yes,
and get them bone in.
Yep, he's a countertop height. So, but yeah, so we did the state competition with the kids in Osceola, and they did okay on it. But like, I don't think they were as pretty or as nice as they probably could have been. But we were guiding them as best as we could. So we need to
help cooking. You know, there's gonna be some.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I don't even know if it's KCBS or if it's SCA in Omaha. I'm not sure, but I know
it's not SCA. There's not many KCBS ones.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know. It was the greatest thing ever that he stole it until I was concerned because for a large dog, he has an extremely sensitive stomach. So I was like, please tell me he didn't eat any of it. He had just drug it and we caught him. But yeah, he can't have any scraps hardly at all.
Oh.
It tears his stomach up.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I hear all
golden retrievers the same way.
Yeah, I hear all the comp teams talking about feeding their dogs like trimmings and different. And I was like, oh no. No, Max. Well, hey, there you go.
We are the only team that has cooked more than one KCBS state contest.
Really?
That is why we are the leader.
Hey, but you know what? You take it where you can get it, honey.
Exactly. Nobody needs to know that but you.
I would have never known.
Oh, that's another topic for another day. We don't need to get. Awesome. Well, I think that's all we have for you. So, there we go. Comment.
Yeah. Well, and it helps that Brad and I bring 4 kids to the kids' queue. So yes, I do need a state class. I was actually going to take one over the summer, but it ended up that we were cooking a comp instead. So I didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
I love steak though.
I enjoyed practicing steak much more than I did practicing. It's fine. Practicing steak was much more enjoyable than practicing barbecue, in my opinion. It was a lot harder to get sick of it.
Yeah. Well, and as you eat the like I eat a steak is probably close to what you would turn in. Maybe the doneness might be a little off. I like it a little less done, but yeah, the barbecue sauce and the different things and all the barbecue meats that we use. I don't eat barbecue. Not right. The way we cook it. Not the way we cook it. All right. We can have Bloody Marys. I'll bring them.
Ooh, yeah.
Who makes the best TikToks? That'd be Brad. Brad runs a TikTok account, so you can totally tell that. I handle Instagram. We both do Facebook. So. But he comes up with ideas, and sometimes he'll like think of something for like 2 weeks from now when we're going to be at a certain comp or doing a certain thing, or he'll hear a song and he's like, "Oh, I got to say that on TikTok. I'm so going to TikTok this song." So he gets really excited. No, they are not doing the kids' queue at the Royal. And the biggest reason is this is our first year doing the Royal. So we want to experience it first and just to not have to worry about managing the 3 kids and just really be able to be there and be in the moment the whole time. So we're going to be there Wednesday through Sunday the whole time. Just us, no kids. Max is not going to the Royal, so Max will not be there. Put that out there. Max is not going to the Royal.
You need to put a sign outside your trailer. Max is not here.
Max is not here. Sorry. Oh Lord, get Josh and Brad onto some TikToks. Yeah. You got to try to keep it like at least PG-13 though. So, but yeah, that's the only reason on the Royal. Maybe next year, but we just want to see what it's all about first, and all that. Waiting on the wall. Oh yeah, Brad's quite the dancer. When music's playing, we're usually dancing, acting goofy. He did take a video of me this weekend dancing and acting goofy, but that was just on Facebook. That was not a TikTok.
Aw.
We do have judges that are our friends that look at our turn-in boxes that we post and then provide feedback to us on Messenger. So I usually wake up to those on Sunday morning, but they're good. Oftentimes it's just a different lens, a different way of looking at it. And like this weekend, we got feedback about our rib box, and they were accurate about it. So it's just something to take in, like all the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
That's nice to get real-time feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
For at least one of the 3 scores.
Right. True. Yeah. So, but like we'll do practice cooks over here, and there's enough of the barbecue family that are also judges, and even if they're not, they cook it. So we're always like, here, try this, be brutally honest, tell us what you think, kind of stuff. And like when Brad was recreating the rib recipe this year, trying to do something a little different because it was just falling flat. We had people over, and he every weekend was cooking ribs, and people were tasting them. Yes, we do love our judge friends. And there's a lot of the judges that live around here too. So like what Ashton was talking about doing last week with the judges coming out to those practice cooks and giving you real-time feedback. That's awesome. So, so, I mean, that's how you make the sport better. That's why like Bunny and Rich, when they do their judge classes, they push those comment cards so much. And
Yep.
Yeah.
anytime we've cooked for one, when they've asked us to speak about what's one thing or 2 things you want everybody to know, that's what we tell them. Give
Absolutely.
us a comment. I mean, especially even if you give a 7 or an 8, like, why did you score us down? 8,
Exactly.
especially like, why did we get a point deducted? Like, what was it? So we just talked to them about the importance of that and how much money and time and passion we put into it, and that we want to get better. But if we don't have any feedback and all we see is an 8 or a 7.
Exactly. You have no idea what it is that they're wanting you to work on.
Yeah.
So.
If it was tenderness, was it over? Was it under? What?
Exactly.
I have no idea. So I got to guess. So just really pushing those. And I know they don't have a ton of time, but I've judged a few competitions, and there's enough time that you can fill out the comment cards. So.
For sure.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure to have you. And I hope that everyone watching, whether you're on a comp team or not, I hope that you learned a lot. And if you have any questions, I'm sure that Bree or Brad would be very open to answering those questions or, having a conversation with you about getting started in competition barbecue.
Absolutely. Just reach out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all three. So anytime. And if you want to come cook, let us know. You can come hang out with us, shadow us through a cook. That's always fine too. We can find a time that works.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Bree. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Awesome. So, Zach just messaged me who our person for next week is. We're going to have Megan Day on. So that's pretty exciting. I've been watching Barbara and she's on that. So, real life celebrity. She's on TV.
Absolutely. Ryan and I were just talking about that last week, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a really good show, I think.
Yeah. So, got any last parting words for us, Kim?
Well, nothing other than, if you haven't found, your group of friends in competition barbecue, get out there and meet some people, because competition barbecue, it's like one big family. It really, honestly, truly is. Everyone's there to, give you insight on how you can do better, and, looking for feedback themselves as well. And so it's really just a very open family and open community, that everyone is just willing to help each other do better. Everyone wants, you don't want to lose to somebody because they had a bad cook. Everyone wants everyone to do the best that they possibly can. So if you don't have a barbecue family out there, go and find one. Come see us at a competition, and any one of us would be happy to hang out with you and, chit chat about barbecue and whatnot. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hope you have a great evening. Whether you are in the backyard, on the driveway, or on the KCBS Backyard Competition Trail, always remember that backyard matters. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Midwest Backyard Matters, brought to you by Man Meat BBQ. Additional sponsors: American Fire Barbecue and Grilling Supply, Sofa King Awesome Barbecue, Trauma Hogs Barbecue, and Hunsaker Smokers.